Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and another high probability watch list for the week of, and we're going deeper into the week of the month of February. February 18th is going to be a holiday, President's Day. The futures I think are open a half a day, so we're going to make this for the week of February 19th, and we're coming to the end of. Thank God, spring is around the corner. What a fantastic week! Very happy with the HPS watch list. Again, we're going to split this watch list into two parts. The first part, we'll be discussing our current setups and the results and stuff. And the second part, we'll be adding the new setups for next week, which are good. I have a list of them right now. We'll go over the bot. We'll go over some things. So let's get started here. In case you don't know, I'm DayTraderRockStar. I broadcast each and every day live on DayTradingRadio.com. Even though it says it's a radio, it's actually a live stream of everything. Market coverage, trading. We have a fantastic site with chat rooms and trading rooms, futures, options, stocks. Hundreds of traders gather every day, and we trade together. So this is a outline that goes out every week. It's called the high probability setups, and it's a list of stocks that will be trading with their buy signals, their profit zones, and their stops. Just to give you an example, this is currently right now. See if I can make it a little bit bigger for you. So this was the ABBV for this week. And most of the setups are based off of the methodology, the HPS methodology. If you're not familiar with that, then you should definitely visit the site Day Trading Radio or highprobabilitysetups.com. All the setups that make it to this list have to qualify on these, and a lot of them are based based on still getting over a little cold here, based on divergences. All right, and other technical setups here. The setups will give you a buy trigger, a profit zone, and a stop, and it'll all be automated as these trades come from TradingView. They'll be daily updated, and when they, we actually have a program that's always checking the prices. So when these levels are hit, you get an instant notification, either email, text, however you want it set up, of those trades. So this is where it is right now. This one's actually right underneath our buy zone there, 81.60, and I'm pretty comfortable with this, even though I think it's the weakest one on the watch list from last week, and it hasn't hit its trigger. Even let me double check that. Did it hit its trigger here? I think it did hit its trigger because it has a green dot on it. If it has a green dot on it, that means the trigger is hit. If it has a watching, that means the trigger hasn't been hit. If it has a gold next to the green, that means its target's been hit. If it doesn't have anything next to the green, that means it's currently active. Gold. Red means it hit its stop before it hit its target. And I'll give you an example of that. Here we had Take-Two Interactive. A decent pullback. I was looking at this as a divergence out of here, a double bottom divergence right here, and looking for it to hold this trend line, and needless to say, it hit its stop, but watch what happened here. There was a lot of earnings, and there was actually a news item here. So, the HPS is really, really great. I would, and this is how I do trade, but every so often you're going to be in a stock that news comes out, and the news is going to break it down. And I tell you the truth, and not boast, but most of the stop outs on the HPS are due to earnings, holding into earnings, or having a chart that has to trade through the earnings and it has to deal with the volatility, or some kind of news. In this case, there was some electronic arts news or some downgrades and stuff, and it breaks down. But then you could actually see it pushed right back up, right under. This was actually a fantastic opportunity afterwards, because technically all the lines are there for you. Even if we break down here, we could always go back and revisit the stock and say, wow, you know what? There's another trend line down here. Maybe I should start looking at it. So you can always review these. But that's just an example of one that stopped out, came right back. It's all automated, so I can't, so I don't change those. So currently we have a couple that are active, Sony and Verizon. Both of these are buy zones, and what I mean by that, especially the Verizon here, is one of the greatest setups, but it has to play out. It has a rising trend line, it has a lower trend line, a 1, 2, 3 pattern. These terms you might be hearing for the first time, they're all based on the methodology. So when I talk about a 1, 2, 3 pattern, it's 1 pivot, 2 pivot, 3 pivot. You trade 4 and 5. Trend lines and support and resistance and the moving averages all could be found in the. And another good thing I'll throw out there, if you want to learn the methodology and get right through it, I have 2 courses that combine to encompass everything you need to be successful in this type of trading, and they can be found at theschoolofstock.com, the School of Stock, and also lifetime members of Day Trading Radio have that included in their membership. It's 2 courses that really teach you how to trade, and there's a lot of just tremendous information. You can go check it out. Again, it can be seen at the School of Stock, theschoolofstock.com. All right, so waiting for this to maybe get down to the lower trend line. But when I send these videos out, like I sent this one out last week, I said there's probably a good chance that this actually moves higher, because when you have a situation where you have a 200 period moving average, a 1, 2, 3 pattern, and the channel is already starting to hold here. There's actually a nice reversal candle. It was oversold. There's a good shot that this actually could push a little bit higher. But like I said, this area down here would be too good to pass up if we ended up getting the price down at that level. So I want to always have this alert down here for me. So currently that alert is active. It says watching. It hasn't been hit yet, and that's all we have to do. And and if it does come about, then we know about it. This was a great setup. McCormick Spices. The gap down, this is another HPS setup. It's called the 5 to 7 day breakdown, plus a 200 EMA, very similar to that Verizon setup, where whenever you have 1, 2, 3 pivots, 4, you always trade 5 when the price breaks under the 200. In this case, it gapped down under the 200. And we're looking for this one to rotate back up. So we got into that one, and as you can see, perfect rotation right back up into the gap. Here's your gap, into the gap, and most likely, you're probably going to get a move a little bit higher, even though it hit our target the other day. We took profits in it. So it's very easy just to be able to get in and get out and not have to worry about anything. All the information is just outlined for you. And since it hit its target, that gold dot appears there now. DRNA is still on the watch list, and I've really been banging the table on this one. Banging the table on it. I think I found a little gem here to get us to $12 real fast. That's a trade. That's a nice trade. 20% trade. So we're in it. We followed the pullback a little, added to it, because the story hasn't changed. So watch what happened here. We actually added to it on the pullback. This was very, very, very a great setup right here. Added to it on Friday. It's continued to break higher. As you can see, my target area is all the way up here at $14. But my initial target, I would have to say, be realistic, is $12. $12. That's going to bring us right to the 200 period moving average. It's also going to bring us close to the trend line, a gap area, well, not a gap area, resistance area right up here. So 12 is a definite target if you want to take it off there, or you could leave it on. It might rotate back. Eventually it's going to get out of here and upward unless we get hit with some news. I had a very tight stop on this. It worked out great, and we have a great profit in it already. How many? I think I have over 300 shares of this now. Oh, this is the DI. All right. Anyway, yeah. 11:18. All right. That is still active, and I still love it. And I've gone over this on the last watch list, so you could also review back there. The news out there has a couple good upgrades up here for $20 to $21 targets. It has moved all the way down here. Nothing has changed in the company. They have good partnerships and stuff, so this seems like a deal down here, and we're looking for it to get back up to 12. The 14 is our target eventually. But you know what? These areas are, guidance. If you have a nice profit and you feel like you want to take that profit, there's no reason why you shouldn't take the profit. Like I said, I might take it off at 12, depending on how the market is at the time. We want to make sure we balance everything. We balance our trades on the overall market conditions. Everything could change on a dime too. But right now, $12 is my next level on this. Loving it. Let's go to the next one. DRNA. All right, so that CVS already hit its target. But I like to test this one out again. This was a divergence setup. Again, most of the foundation of the HPS has a lot to do with divergences and stuff, and just finding those really, really hidden divergences. Not a typical hidden divergence, but a hidden divergence where we see a fast rotation on a single candlestick that takes out the lows, but we don't see the reaction on the stochastics. In this case, on that 14.3, it didn't move. The 9.3 was kind of rolling over, but because the 14.3 didn't really move on that breakdown, I was looking for this to reverse and move right back up, and that's kind of my hidden divergence. And as you can see, we basically did that perfectly. And that was all, after time, studying the markets for so long, you start to see these little clues, like when something breaks down and the momentum hasn't broken down, that's just a little flush. And when we take out the lows, a real good divergence plays out there, and that's a divergence will precede a very good move, fast, aggressive move in the direction of the divergence. And it works. If you're listening to this video, you've traded with us, this stuff is gold right here. All right, so that was CVS. Occidental Petroleum, I still want to go through that, even though we did take this one off for a nice profit. I want to go back and look at it, see where it is now. You can see it moved up, hit our target, pulled back, then moved back up, hit it. So it's really just kind of chopping around here. I do expect this one to go higher, so I just want to see what it looks like on the HPS. I want to look what it looks like on this one. Let's take a look here, OXY. I haven't decided if I want to put this one on the watch list or not. This is actually the daily, and when we got into this, it was really based off of this technique back here called the Nike checkmark technique, and we kind of had one over here. So that's going to give you a more aggressive move in the direction of that move up. Sometimes you get a rounded bottom or an embedded stochastic. You can't really find the strength there. Once it starts, the momentum starts to go. Momentum's your friend. The trend is your friend until you get overbought. But a quick change of momentum like that, a very positive cross back up with a large reversal candle, tends to give us a bigger and better move forward. So this happened actually in a couple different areas, even though it's real small. You know what? It's not bad. I think I want to get in this. This is very similar to the JPMorgan, which is going to be on the list. You can see there was a tight consolidation here. We kind of flushed out of it and then reversed with a reversal candle pushing higher. This has a better chance of actually moving higher off of this level. Yeah, definitely want to take a look at this going forward. OXY. Now the JPMorgan, which I just mentioned before, had that same technique. And again, it wasn't being fooled at all with the breakdown here. Expected this to rotate back in and then break out. So going into next week, we're going to look for this to break out. JPMorgan, high on the list. So I got that. That's probably going to be. Let me go back to the HPS here fast. Let me make sure I don't have that one up on the screen. I'm showing you everything here today. I mean, it's gotten so good, and the patience is paying off really with the HPS list. I'm not throwing crap on there just to have it on there. I know the setups are setting up, even though the market has been extended for so long. There is still some setups here. Here's our last JPMorgan setup. If I go back down to it, look at it, I could actually bring up the chart and then push it forward and see exactly where it is. Now you can see this one started off lower, came through, busted through our buy zone, went right up to our profit zone, and pulled back. That was our last level there. Now I have some old trend lines which kind of help me. Definitely an interesting level. All right, I have to rechart that one on a different chart because that's a much older chart. Probably new lines need to be adjusted on that. All right, so we went through. Did we do all right? The AbbVie, we did that. With the Sony, I didn't really show you the Sony yet. Sony one and only. I'll show you that in the second part of the video when we go over our new setups. The Verizon, same thing. We did that one. The DRNA, Occidental Petroleum, the Take Two, WDC here, Western Digital. I have to look at it because it's another one that we nailed on a bottom. I don't like going for these bottoms too much, but when you have a divergence and a wedge pattern, man, boom. I mean, biggest move is when we have that, combination of things. We kind of predict when the market's going to explode. That's what the divergence is helping us with. Plus reversal candles, some other things. It just took off. Yeah, that's right. WDC, Altria was a bad news one too. I mean, of these getting hit, this was actually bad news. They came out with they came out with something against the electronic cigarette, and Altria bought the. So we're looking at this back here, and look what happened here. Just look at this. This is amazing. Right when I put out the alert, actually, did it even hit the buy signal on there? It might not even hit the buy signal. Looks like it just sold off, and then it came back, and then, well, that's where it is right now. But that was another news event that flushed us and brought us right back. So the setups are still great. Eventually, you're going to get taken out by some news. That's just a part of the game. We have down here Eli Lilly, which is still active. Very nice chart on this. Just traded the snot out of it recently. Where's the chart here? Come on. All right, let's see. We got the chart up on the board here. Now, this was a large, what I put on this one, long-term hold IRA type of trade here. I wanted to really give this enough range because I figured, I'm not a big fan of buying the breakout because lots of times if you're breaking out, you're usually coming from a lower move and people get sucked in and then it rotates back down and then it rotates back up. So I'd rather buy the rotation support line versus the breakout. In either case, got in this one. We kept it a very wide profit. That's why this one continues to be active. You can see it actually pulled back, stayed within that zone, now moved all the way back up. It now is actually rallying and closed on the highs. It does look really good. I would definitely continue to watch this one move higher over time. There's nothing wrong with this at all. Gotten through the earnings on it. It's actually breaking out now. So it's currently active. Currently active as an HPS. All right. Well, at this point, I want to start with the new setups or the official list for this week. I have some great ones. I'll cut this video off here, send it out to everyone out there in the internet area. And then if you're a member of Day Trading Radio, you're going to get that next part, which is going to make you a lot of money. So stay tuned. Don't go away. And if you're out there and you're not a member or you want to try out Day Trading Radio, go to DayTradingRadio.com. Scroll down a little. You'll see a 10-day trial there. No credit card needed. Just fill out your username, send you a password. You're in. You get to check out see the full watch list, get to check out everything, and hopefully become part of the team here. We got hundreds of traders trading every day. And I can't wait until Tuesday. Don't forget, Monday we have a kind of a holiday. And for a freebie, I'm going to tell you my best bet. Best bet is probably going to be JPMorgan going into next week. JPMorgan. I think it'll be easy option play. Maybe the 105. It doesn't even matter. I just think we're going higher above the 200 period moving average, which has been a key area. But I think we get through that no problem, which will bring us to 107 fast. And then, 105, 55 to 107. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot right here. Short term, 99 will be your stop. I don't see a reason why this can't get back up above the 200 period moving average. We're talking maybe 108, 107 and 108 is real fast next week. Like I said, maybe we get an options trade on it. But I'll set that chart up for the members on the HPS watch list on your dashboards, and you can see it there. All right, so let's move on to the watch list for this week.